Sasha Bowles likes to tell people she gets to play in the dirt for a living. As an Arkansas State Park interpreter, Sasha not only gets to share her love of nature with park visitors, but also parts of her Cherokee heritage and history.
If I have a bad day, I'm going outside. I want to be out by the water or, looking at birds or mammals or whatever. Nature is just part of my everyday life. My name is Sasha Bowles. I'm a park interpreter here at Lake Dardanelle State Park in Russellville, Arkansas. I am in charge of doing educational programs, so I get to teach visitors and kids alike about nature and history and culture of the area. A park interpreter, we don't speak a lot of languages, which is what people typically think interpreters do, but we do tell stories. We tell the stories of the nature of the area and the history of the area and what makes this area unique. As a kid, I was always outside playing in the dirt, catching frogs and lizards and whatever I could get my hands on. So my mom, being from the city, wasn't all about the bugs and the reptiles and things. So she never really knew what she was gonna get. But, she never discouraged me. She always just let me go with it. Wildlife, nature, science was always kind of my thing. I spent all of my college career working on the river, studying endangered birds, stomping around in the woods, and studying mammals and birds. So I guess I didn't have to grow up in that sense. I still get to play in the dirt, and it's great. I can't be in four walls. The hardest time for me is when I have to do reports and be in front of my computer, and I have to take breaks and go outside and be with the bugs and the plants and the birds. Today we had one of our local daycare groups come out, and they come out multiple times throughout the summer, and they get to do different activities each time they come out. So today we got to play Native American games, so they kind of learned a little bit about Native American history and what games they played and what their games were made out of.
The way this game works is you try and catch the ring on the end of your stick.
Oh, I almost had it.
You almost had it. We'll keep trying. You'll get it.
Most kids don't play board games or anything like that anymore. It's all digital. So getting them outside in nature and letting them play games that are made from things in nature and not just a video in a box is something that we really enjoy doing. So
3. 1, 2.
I've always known that I was Cherokee. It's never been like a big family secret or anything. But for me, it was always a little tougher because we don't live in Oklahoma, so I've always been an at-large citizen. In trying to learn as much as I can about, traditional practices and things like that, I've gone to some of the cultural classes at the Heritage Center, flint knapping classes and pottery classes, hide tanning classes, basket baking classes, moccasin classes. Me and my mom had come last year and learned how to make moccasins, so this year we came back to learn how to bead them. If you don't want to add a lot of beadwork, you can actually just add an edging to the moccasins that you have without adding the extra linen and wool. A lot of times, my mom will go with me to the classes because she grew up in Muskogee, so she was a lot closer to Cherokee Nation than I was. She enjoys sharing the traditions and learning new things. Lake Dardanelle State Park is along the Arkansas River. It sits about the middle of the state of Arkansas. We are one of the Trail of Tears registered locations on the water route of the Trail of Tears. So the Arkansas River runs right through the middle of Lake Dardanelle. And so during removal times, there were lots of Native Americans, not just Cherokees, but also Choctaws and Chickasaws, Seminoles. All the 5 tribes were moved through here on the river at some point during their removals. We are kind of sandwiched between the Bell route and the water route. So several detachments that went through on the water route. And once they got here to Dardanelle, they had to decide if they were going to continue on water and get on smaller keelboats that could take them all the way to Indian Territory, or if they were going to take the land route and go the rest of the way. So it was a big decision-making point here. Once they got here, they kind of had to assess their own family group situation, if they were able to walk or if they were going to have to stay on the boats. There was no easy way. You know, there's so much history around here, not just with the White Mission or the Trail of Tears, but, you know, Sequoia lived on Illinois' Bayou, which is one of the tributaries to this lake. I created a trail brochure that incorporates Cherokee uses of plants, but it also has the syllabary and the pronunciation, the phonetics, so that people can learn a little snippet of Cherokee language, but they also get some of the history and a little bit of the, you know, the cultural, why plants were so important, and why, you know, being taken away from the plants that you had always known in our homelands in the East and being brought to Oklahoma was such a big dramatic change, because the plants aren't the same, but they're very important for not only food, but for cultural practices and for medicine. For me, it's kind of doubly rewarding, because I not only get to learn about my history, but I get to learn about the history of this area and learn about, you know, Cherokee history. Probably around the time this will air, I will be having a baby boy. So there will be lots to teach him and lots of fun adventures to share and pass on traditions and things like that.
What if it like stops?
When you interact with kids and even adults, they don't always realize that this isn't the only way it's ever been. I get to share my love of nature and of Cherokee culture and history with everybody that visits the park. It's sharing a piece of me. And when I get those, you know, those light bulb aha moments, that's what it's for. That's what makes it worth it.